Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am the one and only Gemma.
She's not incorrect in that description of herself, that she is the one and only Gemma. I am the, as ever, wonderful, fabulous James.
Yep. And you know what? There's a funny thing that because I obviously pre-planned that. And there isn't just a one and only Gemma Williams. I mean, obviously, probably in all of Wales, there's about 1 million of them because it's the most popular name in Wales. But in Dorchester, which is the next town along, there's actually a Gemma Williams there as well, which is really weird.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
For me, there's a foundation that shares my name somewhere in America that does some sort of charity work. So.
Oh, really?
Don't know. Ooh. I don't know what exactly it does, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we are. Videos flickering again.
Videos buggering up.
Yeah.
Yes. It wouldn't be a Zoom recording with Gemma without the video messing up. Now it's gone interestingly from looking like just sort of weird juddery stuff. Now we're in some sort of like strange, either late 80s, early 90s kind of weird video effect. So I do like it. And basically, what I think's happened, Salty Tadpoles, is I think we've been lied to. What Gemma really wants is that she's got this obsession with Max Headroom. So when she's making the videos and they're going wrong, it's her wanting to be more like Max Headroom.
Absolutely. And also I quite like the fact that there's like a nice silver band across my head. So it kind of makes it very, glittery and sparkly. It's ever so wonderful. So if we ever air the video side of things with this, you never know. You might see my face properly. You might not. But for the time being, I'm going to turn the video off because it is distracting. So just bear with. I'll stop the video.
What's amusing is my video's on Tadpoles because the threats against my life this time from Gemma about not having the video on were so much that I kept the video on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And you can keep it on all this time because your video is absolutely fine, which is annoying because it's normally you that we get the irritating things from.
It's very harsh. I mean, as you can tell, I can but try. But yes, the abuse. She's turning me into like an armadillo with this thick skin because the abuse I take is so much. But I'm actually going to turn the video off myself now so I can blow my nose without having to see it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, obviously mute yourself as you've done already, so that's good.
What I'm going to do, Salty Tadpoles, at some point, is because Gemma has this weird kind of freaky aversion to it, coupled with her love of snow, I think what we'll have to do is subject her to locking her in a cold, like, meat closet thing. So she gets, she realizes that snow is evil. But also, we get a lot of people blowing their nose around Gemma to, provide, like, is it aversion therapy? So you become used to it.
I'd really rather not, if that's okay.
And by the end of that, you'll be tough as nails.
Yeah, I suppose I shouldn't dish what I can't take, so to speak. So so I suppose in a way you're right. I pick on you all the time with your silly things that you do, and I guess I should actually become an armadillo when it comes to blowing noses. But please don't test that theory tonight because I'm not in the mood. So anyway, James, how have you been?
Not too bad actually. The weather is a bit like insane and mental, but it's winter. We got to get used to it, so it's not bad, to be honest. Yeah, I'm doing okay. How about you?
Yeah, it's not too bad here. I'm actually quite envious of anyone who has snow right now. And I know James hates snow, and rightly so, because you have it all the time. But we never have snow, as I've covered previously on this podcast a lot. And I know I say it a lot. But, we don't get snow very often. So it's actually quite an exciting concept to actually get snow. It's a bit like in the UK as well. It's quite an exciting concept to actually get sunshine as well. But, no, not really. It's actually not been too bad weather-wise, but Good. It has been absolutely bitterly cold. And like when it rains, it's like ice that is, it's raining ice rather than, actual rain, so to speak. So, Yeah, and again, just quickly as well, I don't know again if my audio is going to come across as a little bit echoey. And I said that last week and it wasn't. So, but I'm in a different room now. I'm in my mother's art studio, which I just pointed at for some reason, but no one can actually see that.
No one can see it, but hey, thank you for the information.
Not even you now, James.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I did see it early, but again, I assumed it was some sort of weird max headroom setup that you'd done. Yeah. Nice looking room from what I could see of it.
Oh yeah, she's got it set up really nice, my mum, and yeah, it's very, very arty-farty. But this has also become my kind of studio slash work office for the time being, because obviously my bedroom's being decorated. So
very nice.
Yeah, it's been quite nice, to be honest, to have, you know, quite a few different changes. There's some that have been a bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to change, but you know, eventually I've gotten round to it. But yeah, my room's now a nice orangey yellowy colour. So or half of it is anyway.
Ginger. Oh.
It's more yellow than ginger, but yes. You cheeky fucker. But yeah, so you know, there's that. So but I think I actually started off with saying, how have you been? But you did sort of cover the fact that you were cold and whatnot. But yeah, so have you been up to anything? Anything really?
I've been watching a really weird, a series on Amazon called Hunters. It's now the second series of it. And I've got to the final episode, but I've not concluded that one yet. And I don't want to give anything away for those who haven't seen it, but it's all about a bunch of a group of Jewish Nazi hunters in the 1970s. And it's, from what I remember from the first series, and it's rung true in the second series, it's incredibly gory. It's good, but it is gory. So if people get a chance, it's on Amazon. If you can watch it, Al Pacino's in it, among some other people.
Do you have to pay for it on Sorry to interrupt there. Sorry. Do you have to pay for it on Amazon, or is it one of the free ones?
It's part of Prime. It's an Amazon-made show, so it's within that package. But
that's good.
There's no caricature, Frank Garman impressions of the hoo-ha stuff. It's very different than that. It's good. That's not knocking Frank stuff. It's just saying that you can't do an impression of Pacino with this one. But it's good. Anyone who wants to tune in, I heartily recommend it.
Okay, all right. Well, I might give it a whirl. I'm just in the fourth series, I think it is. Yeah, fourth series of Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina at the moment. So, which it's going a little bit cheesy, but you know, it's fine. It's one of those things that it's kind of you know, you can sort of watch it to sort of chill out with. You don't have to really concentrate on it properly. So I think that's kind of what I needed at the moment. So
excellent.
Yeah, it's good in that sense. So yeah, but yeah, I am enjoying it. And yeah, I haven't really been watching anything else than that, to be honest, at the moment. So yeah, that'll be fine. You know, that's what it is, because I try to keep to watching just one thing at once, because otherwise I'm just, you know, obviously if the telly's on in the room, I'm going to be watching something on the telly or whatever. But if I'm in my bedroom, I'm pretty much sticking to the one thing. But yeah, I might try that Hunters after though, because that does sound very appealing.
Yeah. It's not pleasant in any shape or form, but it's interesting. It's a good watch. So yeah, definitely worth having a gander at it, as they say.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. And also, I'd like to congratulate a nurse today as well, because I went to go and get a blood test, and my veins are not very helpful for the best part of life, really, I suppose. My veins always goes, hi, I'm going to hide. But this time, I don't know if it's because I was cold or whatever, but, you know, this nurse managed to, or because of her capabilities, obviously. But yeah, this nurse managed to find a vein in my arm today. So I had 5, you know, those little beakery type, not beakers, but you know what I mean, those little blood test
vials.
Vials. That's the word. Yeah. So I had 5 of those actually filled, and that was good going for her. So I felt like she really needed a congratulations, and I told her about our podcast, and she said that we were going to be the first podcast that she listened to. So I didn't get her name, but hi, nurse up the road at the doctor's surgery.
So thank you to the nurse for taking the blood. I would suspect it's down to her ability, because generally getting blood in cold temperatures will be more difficult because your circulation takes a bit of a battering. So yeah, well done, because I've been there myself when it's taken ages to get blood. It ain't fun.
No, it definitely isn't fun. And I always preempt them, because no matter if I've met them before or if I've, the first time meeting them, I always say, look, you're probably going to end up having to go at the back of my hand. You're welcome to try wherever you want, well, within reason, I don't want my bum being used or whatever, but but yeah, you're welcome to try my arms, but yeah, for the most part, most people actually get it out of the back of my hand. And I always say that every time. Every one of them loves the challenge, though. I think apart from when I was donating blood once, and this was like years back, I stopped doing it because I knew it was such a pain in the backside for the nurses that were actually trying to put the needle in. But they used to spend like 15 minutes trying to find a vein in my arm, and they couldn't use the back of my hand because of obviously the amount that comes out. So yeah, I felt so sorry for them. In the end, I was just like, I'm not going to donate anymore. And they were like, yay! I said,
so notes on your file probably are like listed as, hard to get blood, possible intravenous drug use with collapsed veins, question mark.
Well, that was a running joke when, this is like going back to like when my dad was alive, so God, 11 years ago and stuff like that. But it's, I used to always joke with my mum and dad and said, at least that I'd never be a drug user, as in, well, obviously the ejecting type, I could partake in other ways, but I didn't want to. But and that's not just for the podcast, that's real, but also I don't judge anyone who does, so carry on, do what you want. So it was I think quite reassuring that they knew that I wasn't going to be a needle druggie, at least.
That's what you want you to think.
Yeah. I was just injecting it under my eyeball. Yeah. Oh God, that just made me that made me squirm. My own joke made me squirm. Yeah, so you're not really been up to much this week, or have you?
Not really. No, it's not that I can particularly think of off the top of my head. So no, it's been a relaxed week, shall we say? Because like the weather and stuff has not driven me to want to leave the house so much. I did consider I think it was Tuesday, I thought, should I go out and have a quick walk? And it was getting dark, and I thought, dark, cold, black ice, that is not going to end well.
No.
Crunch. So,
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. It's just if it's unnecessary going out, look at me with my words. If it's unnecessary, then really we don't need to go out. If it's like looks like it's dangerous, if it's obviously necessary, if you've like I don't know, run out of food or toilet paper. You remember when there was a time when there was no toilet paper in the world? Oh my God, I nearly called you Graham then, James.
Hey, it's all right. The mind's the first thing to go. I mean, I recognise it, with Gemma's advanced age, the confusion starts, and she will start calling everybody by different names. It's okay, Gemma. It's all right. No, I do remember the great toilet roll thing that went on. Yeah. It was bizarre, truly, truly bizarre. So
I know, it's insane, wasn't it? Seriously, it's like but you know what the thing is? It wasn't just Britain or the United Kingdom or whatever we want to be referred to as, because I don't know in this PC world anymore what I'm supposed to say, but it was global. Like, it was insane. I know it's weird that I'm bringing it up again, but
Yeah. You would think it wasn't an issue to do with COVID. It was, in fact, a national and international problem with dysentery. But no, it wasn't that. It was simply just, people. Well, people panic. When there's in a situation, people do panic by the strangest things.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I do remember that. And I'm hoping I will not have a need to ever face that kind of stuff again. I mean, I was okay because I had enough in stock, but it went bonkers, crazy. I do remember it well.
I think that's it, isn't it? 2020 is going to go down as the year of COVID-19 and toilet paper loss.
Toilet paper, pasta was another good one. People buying huge amounts of pasta up, stuff like that. So and bread and milk and yes, the crazy things that everyone starts to think, oh my God, we've got to have loads of. It's like at Christmas or when there's like a bank holiday time, people for the period of something might be closed for a day or 2 days, they go mental and start buying loads of stuff up. I don't know. Human nature, weird.
I know. And it's so ridiculous, isn't it? Because the shop is, for the most part, I mean, when we were kids, maybe it might have been a slightly different story, like over the Christmas period, let's use that as an example. The shops probably closed for like 2 days when we were kids. But nowadays, it's like one day, Christmas Day is the day it's closed. And then it's like open again on Boxing Day or the 26th of December if you don't if you don't do Boxing Day. I had to really think if it was the 26th of December then. Did you notice? But
I did. I'm sticking with my comment and something I can relate to. When the mind starts to go.
No, I got a really bad headache today, to be fair. So, leave me alone. Stop being horrible.
I was commiserating with the problem. I was saying I could recognize not remembering stuff. So,
okay. Well, that was a good bit of backtracking. Maybe, because recently, this is obviously in personal world, so to speak. James recently asked me to submit something to him, and we're not going to go into what it was. We can certainly say that your backtracking is maybe one of the options now.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Yeah. See, I know we tiptoed around that salty tadpoles, and sorry about that, but James doesn't want the information out there, so that's fair enough. But I had to carry on with that sentence so that I could get that little pun in. A little dig. So, what can we talk about, James?
Yeah, have you had? I'm interested as ever with Gem-Hulk, She-Hulk, the rage, the anger. Has anything got you annoyed? Have you got any Codswallop?
Can you believe that I forgot about Codswallop for a moment there? So, I have, and also more excitingly, I've got a salty tadpole Codswallop that came in today as well.
Nice.
So, shall I do my own or shall I do the salty tadpole one first?
Do your own and then we'll hear what the tadpole one is. Okay.
Actually, let's do the salty tadpole one first, actually, because it's going to take me a second or two to remember what my Codswallop was because, like I said, my brain really hurts today. So, our good friend Carl Foley, he has been listening back to a lot of our episodes and he also wanted to say a big thank you to us, which is really, really kind of him as well. But
thank you for listening, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always really nice when you actually get feedback. And I shared that with you as well, didn't I? That he'd been cleaning out a shed or something. And he said that he's had us on in the background and we've been sort of keeping him entertained while he's been doing it as well. And yeah, and he's really been enjoying it and stuff. So, he didn't have to obviously say that to us, and we're not expecting anyone to say it to us. But at the same time, when we do get the feedback, it is really, really nice. Yeah, here's Codswallop. So this is a man saying a Codswallop, okay? So one of the past episodes, we must have been talking about like flat shares and stuff like that, or sharing accommodation with other people. It was probably me moaning about people leaving the toilet seat up, because he said that he's also irritated because he is in a flat share, so he's with sort of not strangers but with people that he doesn't overly know. and he said that he gets really upset when the toilet seat is also left up, but not because, like he's a man and, for the most part you do have the toilet seat up, but it's also when they actually leave the toilet seat down and they go for a piss. And then he ends up, for most of the time that he's in the bathroom, actually wiping up their wee on the seat before he can actually do his own business. So so he's fed up with literally wiping up other people's piss. Cool.
I can see how that will be annoying. Yes, there's not really much else I can say about that, but yeah, I can understand how that's annoying.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think
now that Carl has named and shamed them, they know who they are. They should stop doing it.
Yeah, absolutely they should. But also, just where is the consideration as well? Like, obviously, if you share a place with someone, if you see that you've dribbled, so to speak, on the seat, why don't you just, wipe it up? Just take 2 seconds out of your day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. But again, Carl, if you want to name and shame them, try to give us the names so we can mention them on the podcast for a Codswallop to make them feel even worse about themselves. Please do provide us with this information.
I got the coughs again today, unfortunately. So, oh God, every time I have a good old cough, though, my voice changes. So I have to explain to people that I've had a cough because I sound so different.
Gemma's becoming a man, everybody.
I am. Yeah, ginger man. Oh, no.
Her voice is going deeper and manly.
Oh. Yeah, so now I need to think about my own Codswallop because I don't think I massively had anything this week. So I think I was probably clutching at straws. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think to write anything down if it did happen. Oh, I know one thing. We have it. Now, obviously, I'm not referring to you when I say this because, with regards to how we record things, then the nature of it is that we will talk over each other because obviously there's a delay with Zoom and Skype and the internet and whatever. And also just because we get involved in the conversation. But my Codswallop is when people talk over me because it makes me feel really kind of like I haven't got any relevance to actually what they've asked me or what, like they don't really give a shit as to what I'm saying, if you know what I mean. So I'll give you half a scenario, but obviously I can't name names, but there's a woman at work who I've recently had quite a bit of dealing with. And she asked me a couple of questions, and it's been about my health and, what's been going on with me, obviously, just of late. And I've been answering her question. But as I'm answering the question, obviously, I've got the issue with the brain fog and whatnot. So I'm actually trying to process what I'm saying in my head before it's sort of coming out of my mouth. But also, while it's coming out of my mouth, I'm also trying to process it in my head. So everything's a little bit delayed. And, but also I'm a waffler anyway. But, I've been answering her is to like what's been going on. But quite often, and a couple of times actually, not quite often, but a couple of times, she has been sort of cutting me off halfway through what I'm actually telling her. So I feel as though it might be like an important thing to let her know about, but then she's literally cutting me off, and it just feels so goddamn rude. And also the fact that I can't really say what her profession is, but yeah, she's got a job anyway that she's supposed to be caring and listen to people, and she's not doing that, and it makes me feel really horrible. And makes me feel really kind of as if I might not even bother being there. But there was one time last week that I actually snapped at her, and I, kind of referred to this. And I was like, well, do you actually want to hear what I have to say or not? And she said, because I missed an appointment, she goes, well, maybe you should write things down. So because I was in a really tired state, I just turned around to her and went, well, obviously.
Yeah, I can understand how that's annoying. I've been in situations similarly where somebody completely sort of like tramples over what you're trying to say, and it feels like it's being disregarded. So I can appreciate how annoying that is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it just makes you feel less of yourself, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just not necessary to make somebody feel little or horrible about. I know, like obviously we do it as like as a jokey thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we would never really say anything about about each other, that we didn't mean. Yeah. So yeah, so that's my Codswallop this week, and I think it was probably like more of a serious Codswallop
Mm-hmm.
than our normal jokey ha ha ones. But I think also, yeah, for all you people out there actually who are shy or timid or whatever, I'm not sure if that's the same thing, but for all of you people out there who are, who people talk over you, don't let them. Your voice is important too. There you are. So, James, have you got any Codswallop this week?
Yes, I have. It seems that I can't get away from this. I'm sure Salty Tadpoles and Gemma as well will understand this. You go on YouTube, you want to watch a video.
Mm-hmm.
It can be about anything. And invariably, I'm being haunted by the bloody Jet2 Holidays advert. Which I mentioned, and it was, myself on Facebook, and was the fact was raised that this would be a good Codswallop. And the more I thought about it, yes, it is. It's also more the fact that I didn't realize that the song used is called Hold My Hand by Jess Glynn. And hearing this song over and over and over again, and it seems to be like whenever I click a video, it's there. And I was thinking how annoying and really more like Gemma this was making me with rage and Hulkness. I then found out that in fact that I'm not the only person, and when I found, because I didn't know who the music was by, it turned out that even Jess Glynn herself has responded to the fact that Jet2 passengers are angry about having to hear this, because I didn't know, and my friend Mark pointed this out, they play it to you on the plane when you're waiting to fly with Jet2.
Oh,
it's annoying
no.
it's annoying just on YouTube, but it's literally played over and over and over while you're waiting to fly.
Oh my God. Oh no, that's awful. Oh no. And also that really it kind of makes the artist feel bad. Well, I suppose she commented, so it makes her feel bad. And also people are like probably going against her music because they're like, I hate this song or whatever.
Well, she was pretty much saying she has no control of them doing it. She thinks it'd be better if she was actually singing it to them live on the plane. But yeah, can you imagine if you're on a really bad delay, and they're just playing it over and over and over again?
Yeah, to be honest, I can't think of the song, but I will have to have a listen to the song because I'm not actually 100% sure which one it is right now. But yeah, I will have a listen to it nonetheless, or I'll Google the advert or whatever.
It's just very, very, very annoying because it's just one of these ones that probably the song itself I wouldn't dislike so much for the fact that it seems to be almost stalking and haunting me.
Yeah.
The damn advert just keeps popping up. But yeah, that's my Codswallop. I can't seem to get away from it. So yeah, could be worse, could be better.
But circling back there though, because you said that the artist hasn't got any control over it and stuff like that, but surely she has, because she's got the rights over the music, hasn't she? So she could turn around to them and say, look, don't play this song anymore.
Do you think she honestly will give a shit though? Let's be honest, they paid her. So really, I'd just be like, yes, keep paying me. Even if it is the Chinese water torture of music, she can say, I'm very sorry, yada, yada, but let's be honest, the money's coming in, so I can see why. Yeah. If she isn't the writer, whoever the writer is, they'll be making money from it too. So I can kind of see it both ways. But yes, it's probably besmirched her music somewhat.
Yeah, that's the case, isn't it? And I think that's, also what radio kind of does with music as well, because they, the most popular tracks or whatever, they'll play constantly. And to be honest, that's probably why I hate Coldplay so much, because I've heard, listen to the radio and it's constantly on or whatever. But, and not that I actually listen to the radio anymore. I purposely don't for that reason. But, and also the music for the most part isn't of my taste unless it's kind of like a station that plays like older songs, not not this up-to-date music. Ugh.
Wow. How old does Gemma sound right now?
I know, I do. I sound as old as I feel right now.
Oh,
I know.
oh,
Poor me,
that's
poor
not
me.
good. Oh,
But I'm gonna cough again. Oh, it's doing my nut in
so
today. Sorry.
so I've just thought something. As Gemma keeps coughing, she's saying she's feeling old. If any of the nice salty tadpoles would like to buy a real industrial sort of like size tub of Werther's Originals, as
I'm back just in time to have a giggle at that. Or if not, Hull Soothers. Those would be quite nice too, but they are a bit sugary. So, you have to watch them, the sugar content, but
Werther's Originals and a not too strong tea.
Yeah. Oh, a lovely cup of tea and a Werther's Original. But yeah, although I'd rather not have Nat's piss cup of tea, Yeah.
If I don't drink tea, I'll just have to step back from that one entirely.
No. Well, it's like if you were to have a really weak coffee, it's like, what's the point? What's the point in having this?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I used to have I still have, but an auntie and uncle who they used to like really weak tea. I really don't understand why, but they have it. They lived in Germany for a long time, so I don't know if that might be why. I don't know.
I'm trying to think when I've had tea in Germany. I have it once or twice, but possibly, I don't know. Pass.
Yeah, I don't know, or it might just be their taste. So,
it could be. Who knows?
Maybe I shouldn't blame an entire nation. Maybe it is just their taste. But they have, when they used to come around for a cup of tea or whatever, it's like quite often we would just use like a tea bag, use it for one, then take it out and use it in the other one, if you know what I mean. Because they just
tread carefully, Gemma. They may listen to this.
No, they won't. But they also, they know that we did it, so it's not like a secret or anything like that. So, it's almost like teasing the tea bag, into the cup,
You showed that you had the hot water, then you showed it the tea bag basically in passing.
Yeah. Although we might have an episode title now, Teasing the Teabag.
That'll probably get some really weird listeners, won't it?
Probably, yeah. And they'll be like, what's this shit?
From some dark area of the web. Probably like wearing a lot of bondage gear, stuff like that.
Yeah, and good for them if they like that. I mean, that's what Joanne does, so why not?
I was going to say, I've seen the picture of Joanne's gym, so it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know about you, James, but should we move on to some stories of the week? Because I
think so. Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, cool. Because I've got 2 stories this week, so I don't know if you want to go first or if I go first and then you go in the middle. So like a little James sandwich. One.
Yes, let's do a James sandwich.
Yeah. Oof. Okay, well that sounds like a lot of fun and everyone would want to. So do you want a nice one or a disturbing one first?
Oh, disturbing.
Yeah, although that means we have to end on a nice one.
Well, that I say that's probably the better for the lovely salty tadpoles. It's pretty nice to end on a positive one.
All right, fine. Okay, we'll go with that then. Right, so no surprises here. A Metro article. So we've had these kind of stories previously, but this is the youngest I've ever seen. So,
okay.
So a boy, this is the headline, sorry. Boy, age 12, needs keyhole bladder surgery after shoving a phenomenal.
Something phenomenal.
Excuse me. A thermometer up his penis.
Ow.
Yeah. Although at least a thermometer isn't quite as big as some of the objects I've heard of in the past. So, that's at least there's that. Another day, another story about someone getting a foreign object stuck in their penis after being a tad too experimental. Whether it's USB cables, because we've covered that story before, magnetic balls. God. I don't think we've ever seen magnetic balls before, Lord. Or chopsticks. Okay. But yeah, again, chopsticks, although there's a sharp end of chopsticks. So, oh no, there isn't, is there? It's just that I have to sharpen them to actually put the fork in.
Right. Yeah. It's more in all these situations, it's the inherent risk of infection.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on, Dr. James, you're doing all the serious side of things. I'm doing the comedy here. There are countless stories of people needing medical attention after poking around their urethras. For one 12-year-old boy from China, it was a thermometer that landed him in the emergency room. The unnamed boy, because this is me ad-libbing here because of his age and also the situation, inserted the medical device into his penis while he was masturbating and suffered excruciating pain for 9 hours after it got stuck. So, James, keep note of these things that you shouldn't be doing, okay? All right. X-rays show the thermometer was so far up the urinary tract that it had entered the boy's bladder. So that's not good. No, not at all. Doctors decided they had to perform keyhole surgery as they were worried that simply yanking the item out, which I feel really uncomfortable saying yanking, would damage the boy's organs. The boy admitted to medics that he had inserted the thermometer for sexual pleasure, which 12 seems quite young to me, but I don't know. Is it young, James?
I don't know. I can't really answer that question. No, I don't really want to think about the masturbatory habits of a 12-year-old.
No, I not that. I just meant that the age feels quite young, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being old farty Gemma today. Although, to be honest, hopefully he's learnt from this experience. Let's see. This is a risky sexual practice known as sounding, which health experts say has led to an increase of infections and other health issues. It can also lead to scarring or damaging of internal tissues. And if the item gets far enough enough, can actually affect the bladder. Doctors at the First People's Hospital in China, I'm not going to say where it is, where the district is. So in this Chinese place, were concerned that pulling the thermometer back the way it came could cause further complications. So instead, they opted to go through the bladder through keyhole surgery, which is quite impressive that they can actually do keyhole surgery nowadays. The Asian Journal...
Gemma, you really are old.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like, I know it's been practiced for a long time, but, still keyhole surgery kind of still amazes me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, let me have that one, all right? The Asian Journal of Surgery reports the operation was a success, although medics did not say whether the boy had any long-term complications from the experiment. Dr. Chi, the report's lead author, blamed a lack of sex education as well as feelings of curiosity for the mishap. And that's the end of the article. So, right. Okay, so your story now, please.
Yeah, I just want to say for the kid, I'm really hoping it wasn't a wall thermometer. And he's probably going to find the mercury rising, but not quite in the way he was hoping.
Bloody idiot.
No. Right, so mine is it's a bit of a worrying one, but it's not as gruesome as the one Gemma's just read to us. So, a junk food loving dad has eaten 124 kebabs in the space of just 1 month in an epic kebabathon, consuming a staggering 250,000 calories.
Wow.
Des Breaky, 36 from Manchester, says he has been hurt both psychologically and physically after eating 4 meat wraps every evening. Yeah, no, so I'm surprised he's still alive. The dad of two even went without a roast Christmas dinner to make space for more of the late night delicacies. Why, Des? Why? But the engineer who polished off his final Donna on New Year's Eve says he feels a huge sense of accomplishment. Ah, right. So this is why he's doing it. After raising £1,000 of Francis House Children's Hospice with the
that's
stunt.
good.
It is.
Yeah.
Des now plans to retire from extreme eating chances, but he's already looking forward to his next kebab trip, which he's planning for the weekend. Not done enough damage to yourself, obviously, Des.
Yeah. Well, if you like kebabs, I suppose, like on a drunken night out, I've always liked a kebab. I've never had one sober to my knowledge. Ironically, I can remember the ones that I've had drunk, but I can't remember the ones if I've had them sober. But yeah.
He said, it's very much an accomplishment. I appreciate the support, but I'm not doing it again. This is my final dance. I'm now retiring. I've enjoyed it, but it hurt me physically. I felt like crap. I'm not getting any fruit, no vegetables, and no nutrition. I couldn't eat anything else. It was a breeze for the first 2 weeks, but the last 2 weeks it got a bit messy, not just physically, but psychologically. There was pressure on getting there. I had to do it. I couldn't let them down. But to be honest, I'm already planning to go out with my mates next week. I'll never stop eating kebabs. Des began the epic challenge on the 1st of December and travelled to different kebab shops each day in search of the wrapped meat dishes. He would make sure he didn't eat throughout the day so he had room for the wraps. And he said, I've been starving myself all day. I'd finish work at 5 and then I would be eating 4 kebabs. Sometimes I'd be eating them in my mate's car, some on the fly. The quickest I did was an hour and a half. Des, who rotated between lamb, doner, chicken, and mixed meats, said his favourite kebabs came from 2 different shops in Oldham and Bolton. He spent hundreds of pounds of his own money on the kebabs, which ranged from £5 to 15, with others donated to him along the way. And being a Metro article, that's it. That's finished it for us. I would suggest, rather than wrecking yourself eating the weird stuff that I was going to say meat, but I'm not entirely sure what's in a kebab. You're probably better just giving £1,000 in donations to the Francis House Children's Hospice. But, whatever floats your boat.
Although he did do it because he raised money for that, though, didn't he? So I suppose there's good, there's a good story behind it, as in he not necessarily for the Metro, but but for him, he did do a really good thing. Like obviously he was a bit of a pig, maybe potentially, but
he has done a good thing, but the fact that he's probably destroyed his innards.
I don't know how long it would affect it for, though, because you had the guy who did the you remember there was like a Netflix series or whatever that was called Super Size Me or something? Did you ever watch that?
Well, it was a film, wasn't it? The guy who just basically ate Morgan Spurlock, who ate McDonald's. Yeah. He got over it, but he did sort of like bugger up his liver, I think. So you've got to be careful.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful. But then if you're a competitive eater, I suppose you would probably know that kind of thing anyway. But no, definitely you do have to be careful with these things. So did you have a second story then? Or did you just decide to not go with the that other one then?
What other one? I thought you were going to... Do you mean the one about the weird stuff in the pizza box?
Yeah, I thought that you were going to...
I thought you were doing that one.
No, I thought you were doing that one. So I've got a different story. So I can go on and then we can end with that one if you would like. So we've both got 2 stories this week.
Yeah, why not? I'll find it.
Okay.
So what's your other one?
Okay, so I'll go on to my other one. So this, I know for us, is a little bit late in the day of reporting it, but... twin sisters born on different days in different years. So, sisters Annie and Effie, not sure. Effie Scott were born on New Year's Eve 2022 and New Year's Day 2023, respectively. So, in Denton, Texas, Annie Jo Scott and Effie Rose Effie doesn't seem right, like a nice name, but there we have it. Is Effie. So I'm hopefully saying that right. Scott are newborn twins who will forever be unique and have their own birthday story to tell. the twins were born on different days in different years. Annie Jo was born at 11:55 p.m. on December 31st, 2022, according to her mum, Callie Scott. Her sister was born at 12:01 a.m. on the 1st of January, 2023, according to her mum as well. So I love the unique aspect that they get to go forward with a little bit of individualization right out of the gates, told Scott. So the mum, her and her husband, Cliff, who are from Denton, Texas, were expecting their daughters to arrive on January the 11th, the date she had scheduled for a C-section. But Scott said that after going for a checkup appointment on the 29th of December, she was hospitalized so the doctors could monitor her blood pressure. It was only then, she said, that the couple realized that their first children would be New Year's Eve babies, or New Year babies, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I mean, there's a little bit more about the story, but I think, I had been thinking, so traditional of one birthday, but now it's two totally different birthdays, said Scott. One will get to celebrate on New Year's Eve, going out and get to celebrate New Year's Day with the other one's birthday. So I think, although it isn't a typical talking Codswallop kind of story for us,
mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really nice story. The fact that two little twins that are, I don't think they're identical, but the fact that they can actually have two birthday, a birthday each, rather than having to celebrate it with their siblings. So, I thought that was a nice story to bring to the show.
Whereas this one, when we talk about blood pressure,
you got nothing to say about that.
I've got
James.
nothing. No, I've got nothing to say about that one. I've just got the full run of Gemma's rage coursing through my veins reading this one.
Okay, go on then.
So we're ending on, as usual, as one that's complete bullshit, and I'm going to preempt it with it's in the Metro,
right?
And it's complete cack. So. Kim Ellis, it says she may be an atheist, but Kim Ellis reckons she was born to witness the second coming of Christ. The mum of two had just finished a Domino's meat feast pizza with her partner when she saw something strange staring back at her. It might have been the carbs talking, but Kim, 33, believes the leftover grease stain in the box looks uncannily at the face of Jesus. I just looked up and noticed a little face looking back at me and thought it was funny, Kim said. My first thought was Jesus, because of the flowing hair and beard. Her partner was out of the room when she spotted it, but he declared it Pizza Jesus when he came back in. The retail worker from Penzance, Cornwall, whipped out her phone to document the special moment for sharing her discovery online. She said, I thought I'd share this one and see what other people saw. Most people found it funny. There's been lots of comments about who other people see. Too, it's always nice to make people laugh. Some of the comments said it looks more like John Lennon or Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead. Others reckon it resembles infamous serial killer Charles Manson or even Hagrid from Harry Potter. Kim added, it didn't make me consider taking...
By the way, Hagrid.
Whatever. It's Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know, but Hagrid.
Yeah. Kim added, it didn't make me consider taking up Christianity. I think it'll take more than a greasy pizza box. The Messiah clearly works in mysterious ways as his face has popped up all over the place. Factory worker Jamie Hales, 37, thought he was the chosen one when Jesus manifested in a bruise on his left arm. Let us not forget the crucifixion of Jesus that appeared in the middle of a tangerine. The Son of God had also been found in naan bread, a frying pan, a T-shirt, an iron, a Kit Kat, or even on the side of a Chinese takeaway. Okay, and being the Metro, that's it. That's all we're left with. And if that's the face of Jesus, to be fair, it just looks more like a screwed up grease spot to me. And more like, to be fair, when I look at it, I see the Pringles image, the guy from a Pringles can.
Yeah.
But to be fair, this is again another article, a bit like listening to the Jet 2 thing that makes me want to shoot out my monitor. See, I was happy when this started, and Gemma was the confused, angry person. Now it's flipped. She's happy after feeding the baby thing, and I'm just peed off.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know if I've ever told you this, and I may have told you, but you also may have forgotten. But when I was a baby, when I was born, so we're going to stick with the baby side of things right for a second, but we'll talk about me, so it's all good. And that's how it works. When I was born, I was the only girl born that day in, obviously, the hospital I was born in. So I was kind of technically on an all boys ward, so there was lots of like boys around me. They would all sort of, be nicely sleeping, and I would scream and cry, and also my mum tells me anyway, I would scream and cry, like make a load of noise, as babies do, until all of the little boys were awake, and then I would go fast asleep.
It explains so much. It explains so much.
It does. So, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop this week, James. I have been Gemma.
I've been James. I'm glad that you've said that, because it ended it on a happy, laughing note for me. So thank you.
No, you're absolutely welcome. You're absolutely welcome. I can bring that story out anytime you need it, okay?
Excellent. Excellent.
So in a couple of weeks' time, you'd have forgotten it. Right, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.